All right, let's dive in. Today, we're all about the NASDAQ 100 E-mini futures. That's the NQ for you traders out there. We're going to break it down for this New York session. Kind of like your rapid-fire market intel,
Love it.
pulling from all the good stuff, live prices, pre-market whispers, the economic data that's about to drop, all the news and sentiment, what the analysts are saying, how tech is doing, the global picture, and those key levels on the chart. So are you ready to get smart on the NQ today?
Absolutely. Let's break it down.
So right now, things are kind of, they're holding steady after some overnight gains, kind of hovering around that 20,360 to 20,380 zone. We're seeing this cautious optimism, but there's always something, right? Trade policy question marks and big tech jitters are keeping everyone on their toes.
Yeah, I see that pause around 20,370 as the market taking a breather, waiting for more data to confirm a direction. That initial overnight pop was interesting, showed some underlying strength, but the fact that it didn't really run away with it, that tells me there's still, some hesitation, some uncertainty out there.
Right, exactly. And those data points, those clues, well, they're going to start coming in hot and heavy. Actually, we have Fed Governor Kugler speaking at 8:40 a.m. Eastern Time. Then we've got some housing data at 9:00 and 9:05. But the main event, the big kahuna, hits at 10:00 a.m. Consumer confidence, new residential sales, and that Richmond Fed survey all dropping at the same time. Big moment for the markets. So what should our listeners be watching for in all this data? What's really going to move the needle?
Okay, so let's imagine we get some really strong consumer and housing numbers. That could be a green light for the Fed, give them the confidence to maybe think about raising interest rates. And that often puts a damper on tech stocks.
Yeah, higher rates, tech stocks,
Yeah.
not usually a happy couple.
Right. Now, on the flip side, if those numbers come in weak, well, that could point to a slowing economy, maybe make the Fed a bit more dovish, maybe pause or even cut rates. That could actually give the market a boost. And then we have that manufacturing survey, always good for a temperature check on how the factories are humming. But yeah, get ready for some action around that 10:100 a.m. data dump.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
What about the news? What's going on out there?
Mixed bag, really.
Yeah.
U.S. stock futures, they actually pulled back a bit from earlier gains, maybe just some profit taking, who knows?
Going to lock in those gains sometime.
Exactly. But there's some chatter about Tesla sales maybe not being as strong as expected, and that could weigh on the whole NASDAQ. Tesla's a big player. And of course, the whole tariff thing from the Trump era, that's still lurking in the background. But hey, silver lining, those key support levels, they seem to be holding up for now.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When you look at what traders are actually doing on the platforms, it's pretty split down the middle. No clear consensus on whether the market's going up or down. Nobody wants to make a big bet right now.
So it's really anyone's game right now.
Yeah.
What are the analysts saying, though? What's their take?
Long term, they mostly like tech, lots of buy ratings out there,
Yeah, makes sense.
right? But near term, they're a bit more cautious, pointing to some resistance around 19,800 to 20,200. So keep an eye on those levels.
And I know you love your charts, so what are those telling you?
Oh, always got to check the charts. So we've got some interesting Fibonacci levels. Those are based on these mathematical ratios that, a lot of traders use to try to predict where support and resistance might be.
And they work, surprisingly often.
They do. They really do. So we've got a Fibonacci resistance level up at 20,661.09, and then support levels down at 20,108.50 and 19,555.91.
Got it. Now, zooming in on the tech sector itself, how are things looking there?
Well, the NASDAQ 100 Tech Sector Index, it actually dipped a bit recently, but big picture, that long-term growth story is still intact, driven by AI, cloud computing, all that good stuff. Although, yeah, tariffs could throw a wrench in the works.
Right, always those tariffs. So what about the rest of the world? What's the global market vibe?
It's a mixed bag. U.S. markets are generally positive, European markets mostly up, but some Asian markets, they've taken a hit.
So a bit of a global tug of war. Let's get down to brass tacks here. What about trading this thing today?
Let's do it.
What are you seeing?
The volume data is a bit messy right now because of the contract rollover from March to June, so I wouldn't read too much into that today. But watch those Fibonacci levels we talked about. Resistance around 20,661, support at 20,108, and 19,555.
So essentially, we're in the thick of it right now.
Yeah, smack dab in the middle of those key levels. How the market reacts to that 10.0 data is going to be huge.
Okay, so paint a picture for me. What are the possible scenarios for the NQ today?
All right, so first hour of trading, expect some volatility, some back and forth as the market digests all the overnight news.
The usual morning scramble.
Exactly. Now, if we get some strong data at 10.00, that could push the NQ above that near-term resistance, maybe around 20,400 to 20,450, and then we could see a run towards that 20,661 Fibonacci level.
Bullish scenario.
Exactly. Now, flip side, if the data disappoints, we could see a drop towards that 20,108 support, maybe even test that 19,900 to 20,000 zone.
Bearish scenario. And don't forget those Fed speeches. They could throw a curveball, too.
Absolutely. So we could see a breakout in either direction, or maybe just a range-bound day where the NQ trades within those levels. Honestly, it's too early to tell. I'd say wait for that 10-fund arrow data to drop before making any big moves.
Sound advice. And of course, I have to say it. Manage your risk, people. Use those stop-loss orders tied to those key support and resistance points. Don't let a trade run away from you.
Couldn't agree more. Risk management is crucial, especially on a day like today.
All right, so bottom line, what should our listeners be laser focused on today?
That 10.00 a.m. data dump, any surprises from those Fed speakers, and how the NQ behaves around those Fibonacci levels we talked about.
Perfect. This deep dive is giving you the roadmap, but remember, you got to stay alert, watch those real-time moves, do your own analysis. Markets are dynamic, things change fast. Here's a final thought to chew on. Everyone's so bullish on tech long-term, but there's a lot of uncertainty in the short term, right? So what if something totally unexpected happens? Some crazy global event or a sudden shift in how investors are feeling? How would that rewrite the script? Something to think about as you navigate the trading day. Thanks for diving deep with us.
My pleasure. Catch you all next time.